Right, hello there, Boss Rudin here, aka El Guapo. What would El Guapo say? He would say, Buena suerte y disfruta de las fiestas, but right now that makes no sense. That's Godspeed and party on. Boss Rudin would say, you are watching Read Between the Lines. Woo!
We continue on right here at Read Between the Lines as we discuss Anderson Silva. Is he still the greatest of all time? Pretender or contender? We welcome back Chris Curtis, Pierre Juste, and Derek Seguin. Great to see you guys. All right. Tough to say, one of the greatest fighters of all time. You talk about Anderson Silva, George St-Pierre, Fedor Emelianenko. Now that we've heard everything that's come out, is he still the greatest of all time in your opinion? Pretender or contender?
Well, for me, we'll start with he's a pretender. I never consider him the greatest of all time. That's just my opinion. I believe my greatest of all time list changes every now and then. Sometimes I have George, sometimes I have John Jones. At the moment, I consider John Jones to be the greatest of all time, due to the level of competition, guys that he has faced, the number of world champions
right,
he's
but
beaten.
where does longevity kick in, though, right?
Well,
John Jones doesn't have anywhere near the same longevity, plus
Absolutely.
the amount of fights fought in the UFC, plus the amount of title defenses as well. I mean, you're giving a lot of credit to John Jones for the amount of fights.
Who was Anderson Silva really beating?
Exactly.
I mean, James the Sandman Irving. Does anyone know who that guy is?
Yeah.
He's like fixing cars now?
Patrick
Cote.
Latest in Montreal.
Latest might actually
on his
be
back.
one of the more impressive title defenses if you think about what he's doing right now. Talis Latest might be one of the more impressive
Making a comeback.
ones. Chael Sonnen, what's Chael Sonnen ever really done outside of steroids era Chael Sonnen? You look at his legacy and you think he was a really flashy fighter. He was so much fun to watch. I enjoy all of the entertainment and joy and frustration he brought into my life. But as far as greatest ever, I think John Jones right now is the he's leading the pack there.
George St-Pierre, Derek?
I'm a huge George St-Pierre
Yeah?
fan. Yeah, I don't even know a lot of these guys you guys are mentioning. I just always watch. Oh, that's the guy that got beat up. Yeah. But Anderson, I say contender for Anderson. He's always been a solid. He's entertaining to watch. I mean, that's what the sport is, really. It's great fight. This last fight wasn't even great. So steroid Anderson seemed less exciting and confident than, So the whole steroid issue, again, is these guys are, it's crazy what these guys are doing. Right. So I don't know how they could do it without some kind of medicine to cover yourself in polysporin is not going to do the trick.
We were talking before as well with Anderson Silva in terms of the fact that they knew he had tested positive prior. There's no way of getting out of this for Anderson Silva. I mean, this is really ugly for him, and they're going to be in damage control over the next couple of days. There should be some big announcement from Dana White. With regards to Anderson, though, if he does come back for whatever reason, they do let him back, and it's ironic because there was a quote by Anderson Silva, which I'd like to read to you guys. And his quote states, "When the guys test for steroids, they should have no more fights," says Silva. "When you use the steroids, you use them for a long time. When you use the steroids for a long time, you have a problem. It's a drug, and it's not good for the sport." This is coming out of the mouth of Anderson Silva.
Yeah. And he's right.
And he's right.
Yeah, he's
but
right.
how hypocritical is that of him? And if he does come back, is he ever going to be able to brandish that image, be able to bring him back to where he was prior to this whole incident?
Not at that point of his career. What is he, like 39 years old, almost 40 years old? He's done his mark, and now that latest incident, it has tarnished his legacy for forever because he doesn't have the time to get the amount of fights to somewhat to redeem himself.
Yet he signed on to a ridiculous amount of fights in the UFC.
And he's not going to fight.
He's not going
to.
Listen, when I said that, I didn't know I was going to take steroids later on. So is there any way we can get into a time machine and like take that back?
I'm for sure that he's going to come back with the story being that, oh, it was just part of my rehab to get my leg fixed or whatever.
Yeah, but the public itself and the people in charge, the people at the commission and the people in the UFC, do they believe that it was a one-time thing? And he said it himself in the quote. When the misconception with steroids is that you take it once or you take it twice, you stop taking it and you're off and you're clean.
Right.
You've taken steroids, it forever changes the way your body functions that moment forward, and he has to live with that stigma.
I think look at his legacy in the end. He's a guy who came along when the UFC was just about to explode. Yeah. And he wrecked Chris Lieben, Rich Franklin, and it looked amazing. And he's a guy who had this really unique skill set. It was exciting. It was thrilling.
A true mixed martial artist.
And you can never take that away from him. I don't believe he was on steroids back then. It just, I think your theory about how he was taking it to heel makes the most sense.
Absolutely.
But you can't take his legacy away. I really do believe he was a necessary fighter. He was an exciting guy. There were some, his comeback fight against Chael Sonnen is one of the best of all time. It's hard to take that away from him, but unfortunately, this will always be the asterisk next to it.
That's what I was going to say. One of the greatest of all time with an asterisk next to it. Great to see you, gentlemen. You too. Thanks for taking the time for being on the show. Start with you, Derek. You got a lot of stuff coming out. We see you on CBC, Just for Laughs, the whole 9 yards. Where can people catch you?
I'm a huge success, Adam.
And humble, by the way. And humble.
My calendar's on my website, so derekseguin.com. You can find out when I'll be coming to a city near you. And yeah, that's it.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Continued
man.
Success.
Cheers, thanks.
Chris Curtis, we see your stuff on a regular basis. Congratulations. Where can people catch more of it?
The Montreal Gazette. So please read. Please follow me on Twitter at Tito Curtis. I have a lot of emotional stake in this game.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
I just need it. I need it.
Stay with us. We continue on as my rant is up next. You don't want to miss it.
Read Between the Lines is brought to you by enconfiance.ca. Find your dream home.